buddy. Come. What do you reckon? Reckon we'll find something tomorrow? Hey? Hey? Good boy. What do you reckon? We hit the hay?
We're just working our way along a bit of a spring system, using the elevation of the basalt wall to sort of peek down into these low-lying spots that might be holding a little bit of water and green feed. There's a few cows out there, and judging by where the grass comes up to them, it's pretty high, so hopefully something steps out in a little low spot for long enough and we can get eyes on it, but we'll just see how we go. Might get them coming back up to bed. I've just seen a pretty handy boar out here in that long dry grass there. There's a real big green bush that I've used as a marker but haven't seen him for a while. That wind's sort of not great. There he is there. Yeah, he looks pretty decent. We're going to head out to him now. That wind will be cutting it pretty fine. We're going to have to move. We'll just jump on this game trail now. Should make it a bit quieter as we get in. There's that green bush there, so shouldn't be too much further. Got him. He's just rooting up. They're going. Hopefully he's got a bit of age to him, but to be honest, I didn't really get a good look at anything. Just going off, big old boar sort of out by himself. That was pretty cool. We'll have a look at him. That's where he was just feeding there, and he hasn't made it. Holy, jeez. That's a bloody good pig. Holy moly, I was not expecting that. He's a lot older than I thought. Got a decent frame on him, he's just a lot more hollow in the guts than what I thought. His pin bones are sticking out here. You can see that broadhead's hit him pretty well, just there on the point of the shoulder. And yeah, locked his scapulars up. Absolute cracker of a pig. Old, he's got his big floppy ears and some scars on him and stuff there. Must have been trying to get a bit more of a feed and put some condition on, but not often you get big boars, especially wise old boars like this out much after daylight, so very lucky indeed. In terms of the basalt boar, you won't get too much of a better representation than that. Well, it's been a cracking start to the day. Let's make our way back to camp. We're a couple of kilometres out, so we'll get moving. Barely sort of even made it, a couple hundred metres, and just turned the corner of a bit of that wall. Found a nice little shady patch that we're approaching up here, between plenty of glassing and whatnot, but there's just been some really good sign. We saw some fresh chittle rubs just back there. some pig rooting here, and all throughout here it's all pretty dug up, so sort of, yeah, been lucky already, but anticipating that just up here a little ways we might get lucky and see something else. So certainly the scene's sort of set for it. Feeling pretty good. We'll just keep going slowly. We've just rounded this corner here, sort of hugging pretty tight to all this black tea tree, and notice just up here, probably only 100 metres away, there's a young stag, sort of mid-20s range. He looks good, all the right style and that. Nothing that we'd be shooting today. We'll just suss this guy out, make sure there's nothing joining him. It's pretty cool to just watch deer when they're relaxed like this. This little fella keeps throwing his head up every time rosellas or any apostle birds land, kick up a bit of a racket. I guess it's a pretty nerve-wracking sort of situation to be in, out in the open by yourself. But we'll just keep watching him. He's pretty content just feeding there while this brief little bit of sun comes through. That was a pretty cool encounter. That young stag's just gone sort of bedded down for the day, I dare say. We'll probably head off now and do the same. We'll go have a quick bite to eat, something to drink, and then go and explore some new country for the afternoon.
Just driving along and sort of seeing some crows fly off up ahead, and finally just that stench, rotten stench has hit me, and there's obviously something dead up here. Jump out and we'll go and investigate it. It might be something worth sitting off this afternoon. Well, we found the source of that smell. They've only really touched the front end, so fingers crossed we'll probably come back this afternoon, sit off it as an ambush, and I think we're in for a pretty good chance.
After checking out some new dams at the back of the property, it was time to return to the carcass for the afternoon's ambush. As we approached the carcass, to our surprise, a young boar had already begun feeding. Closing the gap, we too set up 30 metres off the carcass, waiting with anticipation. If the early activity was a sign of things to come, then no doubt we would begin to see plenty of action. We've just got a mob coming in from out on our left. Looks like a half-handy boar out the back. That boar's actually got pretty good hooks. He's just lifted the frame of that cow. I'd be pretty comfortable shooting here from 30 if that fence wasn't in the way, but gonna have to get into about 20, I think, and try and make something of it. But a lot of eyes and ears. We'll just see how it goes. They're preoccupied, so make our way in before light beats us. into the day. It's not every day you get to take 2 good boars out, so don't know if that fella had huge hooks or anything, but he was certainly throwing his weight around. Arrow hit him perfect in the shoulder, and he's travelled about 40 metres and gone down, so we'll come back early tomorrow morning and see if anything else is on the carcass and have a better look at him in the daylight. But for now, we'll just make tracks, head back to camp and go get warm by the fire. That sun's starting to come up now, so we'll make tracks and go get our hands on that boar. Certainly a bit going on this morning. We're just making our way into that carcass to come back and get that boar, but there's a bit of commotion. There's a lot of pigs on there, but yeah, hopefully we can add to the tally and get another good boar. Pretty exciting anyway. The wind's pretty good this morning, so it should be a pretty easy stalk. Don't really have a lot of cover. I'm just going to slowly make my way in using these little low boulders and sort of direct line, but they're all pretty preoccupied with that meat, so as long as I keep a low profile, I'll be fine. After closer inspection of the mob, all the boars were young and immature. As the shadows shortened and the day began to heat up, we watched as the mob began to feed off. Once they had left the scene, we moved in to check out the boar from the previous night. That's the arrow that's done the damage. Didn't get much peno, but dare say I've taken out the heart, and I can see that pig just there, so we'll head on over. Geez, what a good pig. He's a cracker. All that mud's caked on, far out, he's got some good hooks too. Certainly happy to throw his weight around, especially at that carcass getting prime position. Ears are all caked and muddy, he's got some brindle hair up here. Definitely a bit of character, but it's hard to see in that low light last night, but definitely glad I made the decision to take him out. Finished an awesome little hunt. He's only made it probably about 40 metres after the shot, but yeah, probably punched him through the heart there, and definitely stoked. He's a real good lump of a boar, good hooks, and yeah, quite the ending to a well thought out planned hunt.